Welcome back to the Move with Peppers podcast. And today I am joined by Grant Dempsey, entrepreneur, community leader, trailblazer, and all-round fitness fanatic. Grant, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Grant, who was your greatest role model growing up?
To be honest, I'm going to say my big brother. Obviously growing up with I wouldn't say troubled, but no one really inspiring as I was growing up. And watching my big brother get up every morning and getting after it, going to work, personal training, cycling from Kingston to town every day just to get to work. I'll definitely say my brother, yeah.
What values did you kind of glean from him?
To be fair, at the start we didn't get along at all. I was that type who just, as you know, football, Call of Duty, FIFA, playing out. So I weren't really bothered in a sense until I grew up. And when it was time to start earning money, start building a future for myself and stuff like that. So with him, the values I took was it's not going to fall on your lap. You've got to get up, you've got to go and get after it. And he always swore by that, and he just strive for success every single day. Where if he sees me lying around doing nothing, he'd just be like, "What are you doing?" Get up, get out, go do something. Whether he's kicking a football or going to the gym, going running. This is when I was young, so he drilled it into me from when I was about 12, 13, because he's 6, 7 years older than me.
Yeah.
And he was just the one, the driving force out of our family, really, who was the one, if anyone was going to become successful, it'd be my big brother, Mitchell.
What did that family dynamic look like growing up?
To be fair, my mum done absolutely everything. No father figure.
Yeah.
My mum did have a partner called Steve who stepped in when he was about 5, 6, and we was with for about 10 years. Who, again, just nothing but love for. They broke up, but I'm still in contact with him to this day. So growing up, it weren't easy, but again, it's just the love my mum gave us.
Yeah.
What she tried to do for us, little things she'd get into a debt with a catalogue book just to obviously give us what we wanted.
Yeah.
So the dynamic, it was just it was good, but it's just when you used to look around and you see your friends getting whatever they wanted, you look around, you see the dads taking them to football, people on the sideline supporting them, the dads, even little things like water breaks at football, they'd all go to the dads get the water, and it'd just be like me. And then other than that though, it's just I can't complain because it's where I am today. I think that built me up for this, the mental resilience of just again, if I ain't got a father figure, it's not going to stop me from doing whatever I want to do.
Right.
My mum would always try, she'd try, she never drove, so she'd always get on to people to try and take me. If they couldn't take me, she'd always try to pay for a taxi. So it was tough, but it just builds you to this person you are today.
You mentioned obviously not having a father figure present, and it's really interesting because quite a few of the guests I've had on have spoke about that. What would you say was the main impact that had on your life?
I think it would be a lot more discipline, being disciplined, because growing up around, it goes back to my brother then, that's where he trying to discipline me.
Yeah.
We'd be more discipline. Prime example this day is when I was in year 6, I had trials for blues, but I couldn't get there. I couldn't get there, and obviously it was just it was with my friend's dad. My friend asked his dad to take me, and he wouldn't come from I think it was Erdington to pick me up to go to the blues. And then my mum couldn't afford a taxi, and it's just little things I always think, what about if I had a dad who drove?
Yeah.
And it's just the discipline side to it. No one in my family liked football really, so it's just me, and I always think, what about if I had a dad who liked football?
Yeah.
It was just mainly that kind of things, when I see kids playing with their dads, even to this day, when so luckily if I'm blessed enough to have a child, I always say I'll be the father that I never had. And that was just even little things just being there, it's just loads of little things just going through your head, saying, especially when you see people walk past you as a kid anyway, with their father, you just think, why didn't I have my father, kind of thing. But it's one of them where I've never sat there and felt sorry for myself. I've just I've got my mum. Do you know what I mean? It's more than enough for me.
Yeah.
And then I've got Steve at the time, which was my mum's partner, which was more than enough. So it's always then then you get the questions as kids, where's your dad? You just I don't know. But obviously I do, but I don't speak to him, kind of thing. But to this day, it's just, when I deep it didn't affect me in small doses, but not to the point it affect me mentally. Do you know what I'm saying?
What's your relationship with him like today?
I'd never speak to him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd never speak to him.
Yeah, that's fair. In terms of football, this passion for football, where did that come from?
I don't actually know. I don't even know. I remember one day I was playing with Ryan Day and Malcolm walked past me in the park in George Frederick, and just messing around playing with Ryan, and he just like basically just said like, "Do you want to come play for?" He was building futures at the time,
Yeah.
and I was just like, "Nah." And he's like, "Why?" I was like, I don't really want to. Do you know what I mean? I was just a cheeky kid, like I was always up front. So
Yeah.
I was like, no at the time. And then a couple of days later, he wants to see me again. He's like, "You come in?" I was just like, "I'll give it a go." I went there and I just fell in love with it.
Okay.
I think the thing is with me as a kid, again, though, like people always say you never fulfilled your potential. But that comes down to like little things, like again, like I had no one there to push me.
Right.
So like when I used to just play Sunday league, I'd have Saturday league teams coming for me.
Yeah.
And because to me it was just football, so I was just playing with my friends. And when other teams come in, I was just like, I'm not really bothered. So I never used to really like go along with them. So it was a bit tough in that sense. But like then the passion come from like being around my friends, such as like your husband Omar, like Luke, and then we built like a family within the club. And then I think that's where I finally started to like grow as a person, because I was around people who cared for you. Like obviously as a team, you're a team, it's like a family. Obviously Malcolm and Vanessa always used to look after me if my mum couldn't take me. And just the passion come from, I think it was just building that community, like family, like tight squad, which we were.
What would you say was your childhood dream at the time? Obviously
it was to be a footballer at the time, but then I think out of our team, I think it was only Amadou who made it.
Okay.
And sorry if you hear this, Amadou, but but again, it's just like in that team, there's loads of us who was trialing at Wolves, Warsaw, Blues, and obviously, hands down, Amadou deserves it to this day purely because the hard work, the passion, desire. Like he was that kid who you laugh at for getting the cones out on his own and doing little drills and finishing like. Yeah. Because at the time I was probably like one of the best players. I was like, I don't need to do that. Do you know what I mean? Where like, all due respect to Amma at the time, he probably wasn't one of the best, like top three. Yeah. And then like he just surpassed us massively, and like to this day, he deserves everything that he's got. When
you look at the football landscape in that perspective, and you see obviously people that you've grown with potentially not going to football, and then others now that just take off. Obviously, you train a lot of footballers now on a one-to-one level. What would you say about the industry from this perspective in its current day and age?
From what it was back then?
Yeah.
As in the football industry. I think from this day and age now, it's a lot different from when we was growing up, especially like the technology. Yeah. The pitches, like nowadays the pitches are perfect. When we was playing, it was just boggy and horrible and just one of them. Obviously all the technology, just how specific it is now, especially when you train with the professionals, it's down to a T. Like you've got to think with them, they're a professional for a reason, so to make them that extra 5-10% better, it's completely different to trying to make an amateur 10-15% better. It's a lot of hard work. I feel like from like grassroots, from when we played to now, again, it's the pitches, it's the funding, it's the equipment, it's massive now. When we was growing up, I think there's like 10 teams in our league, where like now you look at leagues, like with my missus, her son plays, and there's like 20 teams in his league. Wow. And there's like loads of different regions. Like when we used to travel, it used to be like the furthest we'll go probably Knoll. Right. But like now they like here travel to like Leicester. Wow. And the level is just like it's just insane compared to when we was growing up. As was kick and run, shoot if you have to. Like these like just play out from the back. It's just there's levels above it now. When you think about your dream to become a footballer, at what point did you realise it probably wasn't going to materialise? I started playing Call of Duty, I think. Yeah. Started stack on the pounds. I feel like I just give up in the end. Okay. I feel like a lot of my friends were at academies. Yeah. Obviously, I weren't getting picked up at the time. I just wasn't. I got to a point where I just stopped enjoying it. I was probably about 15, 16. I think I stopped playing when I was 16. Like just completely stopped. I remember I went to, obviously football, well, football future stopped. Obviously we all separated. It was just mad because that's all I ever knew.
Yeah.
Was obviously just meeting them, like playing, training twice a week, playing on Saturday or Sunday. And then that was that. And then all my friends went to like, I'll tell you what, when I completely stopped, I went to Sutton College.
Okay.
And all my friends obviously all got into the first team. Obviously I was with the first team. And then I got dropped on the first team because apparently my attitude, well, it probably was my attitude, not apparently, but.
What was it about your attitude?
I just didn't listen, just turning up late, just doing what I want. I was hard to control when I was young because again, I had that mindset, you know, when kids are like, I don't care, I don't care.
Yeah.
I had that kind of like mindset, and I remember all my friends playing in the first team. Like, say there was a group, there was 5 of us, and the other 4 played in the first team. And obviously I got dropped to the second team, and I remember saying, I ain't playing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done with football. And then from that day forward, I stopped playing for about 6-7 years.
Wow.
Literally just stopped playing. Obviously, like power league and stuff like that, or probably like the odd Sunday league game here and there. But got to a point where I just thought, you know, it's one day. I reckon if I had the right people around me, the right coach, it would have been all right. But I didn't care one bit.
Where did that come from, Grant? That lack of caring?
I don't actually know. I always like it in school, just troubled, like always getting kicked out in primary school. Weren't even allowed out on the playground. And I'm like, my brother and sisters, they're completely different to me. Like, they're more like chilled, where I'm just like, I can just snap.
Right.
Like, just flip the lid ASAP. And I feel like it just come from, I wouldn't even say home, because it wasn't as if like anything bad happened at home. It's just more like, obviously having older siblings, you're always getting wound up and getting angry and stuff like that. But I just took it out with me, like, because I was like quite popular growing up. My thing was, I've just always been like a bubbly guy, so like, and just like the class clown kind of person. But then it's just like when people used to try to tell me what to do, I just didn't like it.
Okay.
I think there's a way, like, there's certain teachers knew how to handle me. Like, if you shouted at me, there was just no point. I just tell you to shut up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But obviously, I always had like the 1 or 2 teachers who they'll like let you calm down, they'll talk to you, and then I can't tell you where it come from, because again, it wasn't as if like my mum, she only raised the voice if we always do something. It wouldn't be like coming home and there's fights everywhere. Just like my mum's chilled, you know what I mean? So it wasn't as if there was anything at home that made me feel like I don't care.
When was there a shift? At what point did you notice it and think, oh, I probably need to do something about this don't care attitude?
I reckon it was about 4 years ago when I was like 25.
No way.
When I first started Sunday Running Club. And I always say to everyone, running changed my whole life.
Yeah.
Before that, I was in and out of jobs again. Like, I always knew I weren't this guy who's going to work for £8 an hour.
Okay.
So I'll go to work for a day.
Yeah.
Or get a month's wage of like £1,000. I'll be like, what am I doing? And then obviously I was into like other stuff, just the bad stuff, doing that just to get by. And then I think the reason why I got into that was obviously just to look after my mum, really. Okay. So I was doing that for a bit, and then it just like, as much as it's easy, it's like it transformed into something else. Right. Where I went back to college at 25. I think it was like the start of lockdown, it was. I went back to college, paid for a personal training course. That's what I initially went to college for. But going back to it, actually, when I went to college at 18, 16, I done like sports just to be with my friends. Then went to pass gym instructing at 18. Got kicked off the course when I was 19 for not showing up. Again, Lisa and Tracy were my tutors, who literally just done everything to try and help me. And it's just one of them where I didn't care, I didn't want to be there. Like, I just never enjoyed school or college. And then a few years later, I got back in touch with them, and I was just like, because I knew they wanted to help me. Yeah. I saw my brother's doing personal training, I seen what he was doing. I was going to the gym a lot, and people was asking me to like, when you go to the gym, let me know, kind of thing. So I was like, cool. Yeah. So then when I was 25, I went back to James Watt College, paid for the course.
Same course?
Yeah, same course. What I got for free like 7 years ago. So I went back, obviously went to an adults only course. Yeah. Again, still struggled, not like, because I'm not really a classroom person. So as I said, like writing and stuff like that, it's a lot for me. Yeah. And then with like Lisa and Tracy, I think I just locked in. Like, nothing was stopping me. I think I was 25. My friends are getting mortgages. My friends are like moving on with their life or whatever. I'm still there, like in and out of jobs, doing nothing, like doing whatever I had to do to get by. And I feel like I got to a point where I was just like, I just need to fix up.
Is enough, yeah.
Like, enough is enough. Like, it's not about the money now, it's about your future, where you're gonna be, like little things like that. I always knew I wanted to make something out of myself. I don't know what it was. I've just always had a vision and a dream that I'm not gonna just exist. Like, I need to like make a living. I need to like do stuff. And then when I went to college, it's just little things like all the practicals, I was just flying through all the exams. I was loving it.
Yeah.
I was helping people. And then I think when I first started working, I started earning like okay money. I thought, right, like I'm onto something here. Because normally I'll go into a job, it could be like some jobs walked in and I've walked out after about an hour.
Really?
Just left.
Just no, this ain't for me.
Just left. And I feel like running, fitness, training, helping people has just made me into like a different person. I know it's easy to say what I wish I knew now. I know what I know now when I was younger.
Wonderful.
Because it'd just be different.
Where did Sunday Running Club come from? How did it birth?
You probably know him. One of my friends, Russell Power. He's always over my social media. So as mad as it is, he's one of my best mates. Like, I've known him from knee high. Like, always got on with him. Stopped talking for a few months, so he started hanging around with the wrong crowd.
Okay.
Just like drinking, doing whatever on the side and whatever. And I remember one day, like, I've rang him. It was like early, about 6 p.m. And he's drunk. I'm just like, what are you doing, kind of thing. And he's at a pub by mine. I remember going in there, looking at him, and he's just a mess.
Right.
And like these little flashbacks come back to like us as kids playing football, running around, doing whatever. Like, I ain't gonna lose my friend to like letting these little people around him just think like getting on it, doing whatever every single like 3-4 times a week's okay. Because some people it is, they go to work, they go to the pub and it's okay. And I remember one day, like, I videoed him. I was like, look at you, you're a mess. Like, proper, like, went in on him. And I was like, you need to fix up, like, seriously, like, ASAP. Like, I think at the time he's 21 stone.
Okay.
Like, I've always known he's, like, running with me, gymming with me, football with me, like, 21 stone. I looked at him, I was like, I said it is. I was like, you're a mess. I was like, what you doing it's disgusting. And then this was, like, December. So obviously he's just in the Christmas spirit, like, everyone's out, whatever. And I remember videoing, I said, listen, tomorrow, 10 o'clock, I'm picking you up. I said, we're starting tomorrow. Yeah. And to be fair to him, he's just like, yeah. He's just like, it's kind of like he was crying out for help, but not asking for help.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? So as soon as I've approached him, I said to him, tomorrow, we're starting. So as mad as it is, Sunday Running Club started from me helping Russell.
No way.
So we used to go on runs then, probably 3-4 times a week. I promise you now, he couldn't run for longer than 5 minutes. He would run, he'd be breathing heavy, like, stitches, back's hurting. We was arguing because I was calling him. I was like, you've done this to yourself, or arguing. And then this is in December. And then I remember every time we used to run, I used to do like a little video of him. It's like, just like, not even saying anything, just a video and like, he's on it again today, like, fair play. Then like one person messages up, when you're running, let me know. Another person, when you're running, let me know, so on and so on. So then like, January the 3rd, 2022, but I put a post up a few days before that saying, on January the 3rd, 2022, me and Russell running Sutton Park, Bannersgate. Like, we're going to do it every Sunday just to like hold ourselves accountable. Yeah. If you want to come. And on the first Sunday, there's like me, Russell, Josh, Hodge and Jack, like 5 of my friends, 4 of my friends. And we loved it. Like, we just like, see, we ain't even got a meet in the pub just to meet each other, because that's all we was doing before. The only time we see each other was in the pub. And then like the first week, there's like 5. And then like second week, there's like, say, 10. I remember like by like, say February, there's like 20. And I thought it was humongous. I was like, oh my God, like, can't believe it. Like 20 people meeting in the park. And then it was more like, because we was getting the thrill of helping people and having the boards, and everyone like would finish and everyone would be like, how was that? They'd be like, unbelievable. And because it was just like just accessible, easy, everyone can do it. It just got grown and grown and grown. And then in June, we decided to start obviously the 5 a.m. 5km.
What year is this? June?
2022.
Okay.
So where we started running in the mornings again, started running at 5 a.m. And that's where it just completely took off.
People come out at 5 a.m?
Yeah, it was crazy. I remember one morning, we done we called it mental health rundown. We teamed up with Free Train. We had about 400 or 500 people at 5 a.m.
Wow.
It was, honestly, at the time, it was just like, you're looking around and just literally, sometimes you're always like, with me, I never used to like, at the time, get overexcited or people just like, ain't you buzzing? I'm just like, yeah, I am, but nah, I need to do bigger. Like, I need to go bigger.
Is that you managing expectations or?
Yeah, I feel like I always, like when people say, oh, like it's insane, I was like, nah, I know I can do bigger than this.
Yeah.
And it just grew from there. Like we had like a WhatsApp group, it was like 300 people. Every morning we was getting like 40, 50 people. Wow. Obviously we were one of the first clubs, if not in the Midlands, probably in England, to do the 5 a.m s. Like no one was doing it. And the reason why it come out from like the 5 a.m s, I remember sitting there for ages trying to think outside the box. I was like, because at the time when we started the running club, there was only like 3 other local running clubs, and there was like more like athletic clubs. There was like Sutton Town, there was like Balmere Bullets, some of it, I think there was like Mara from Lichfield, a few other ones. So like,
nothing accessible to like.
So there was nothing like it around our area at the time. And then it just like, it was crazy. Like BBC News was messaging me, ITV News was messaging me. I was asking, the companies were just messaging us to collab with us. Like, sick. But then it's mad because, as mad as it sounds, I felt guilty.
Why?
Because I was getting all the credit when I was thinking, if it weren't for all these members and all this community and all these people coming, I'd never be here today. And I weren't like, it weren't eating me up, but now like, this is what I like. I'm more of like a giver. I'd rather just give. Obviously, when you get something back, it is nice, but then it's just like, I was getting to a point where I'm like, to my partner Tash, I was like, what can we do? We need to give something. So then like, a lot of companies got involved, like Protein Rebel. They was giving us free, like running gels. USM was giving us shakers, protein. Free Chain was giving us vests. Like we partnered up with Brooks, which was the biggest thing we've ever done. One of the biggest companies in running. So we teamed up with Brooks. I remember getting the direct message to this day, just saying like they want to work with us, and it's just like I remember like screenshotting it, sending it to Tash. I was just like, this
what's
is
you
crazy.
feeling when you get brands approach you and you're like, what's the initial feeling?
It's crazy, man. Like, as mad as it sounds, like I don't buy running shoes anymore, or like running clothes, or like supplements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
all these things sponsored now.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like sometimes you think, you sit back and you just like, just from like you rewind where it started. It's like you go back to helping a friend come out the pub, starting running, putting it like a tiny Facebook status up. So like now it's more like, it's like a full-time job.
Wow.
And it's gone from like us running, putting a status up, to now like this like full-time community who've got like a solid team. I've like the team I've got around me now. Again, like I'd never be where I am today without them.
Yeah.
I'll always try and give as much love, and I always say like, wherever I go, you guys come with me. So if we went, I don't know, a multi-billion-pound deal with Nike or whatever, I'd make sure like everyone's looked after. I'm one of them where I hate taking all the credit kind of thing. Like it's not just me who's done it. Obviously, behind the scenes, like what people don't see, you got like Tash. We started a committee group now where we've got like 15 people in there who do like the designs, the emails, like the graphics, all this kind of stuff. So it's not just me.
Yeah.
I am the face of it, obviously, but when you realise like, I went through like a little bit of a dip like 2 months ago where I just can't be bothered to do running anymore. Like I was this close to just giving up.
Where did that feeling come from?
It comes from helping people like a lot, giving them so much love and energy. Then something new comes up and they move away.
Yeah.
It was as if like I had people who, like some of the messages I sent me, some of the like the chats we've had, the phone calls we've had, like I won't go into what they've said, but it's like said certain things to me, like basically if it weren't for you, like blah blah blah, and then like something else come up at the same time as us, but was free, and they moved along, and I'm just like, after everything we've spoke about, after everything we've done, and I got to a point I was just like
disheartened. Yeah,
it was just like, do you know if you told me straight like, this club isn't for me anymore, it's not like I want to move on or what, but it's just like little lies and you catch them out and you're just like, why? Do you know what I mean? Like after everything we've gone through together, more than anything, because I was one of the first people you called. Like, we was the first person you text if like something was going on.
Do you take it really personal when that
Yeah,
happens?
really personal.
Yeah.
Like, you have to try and act strong and be like, oh yeah, don't worry, like.
Yeah, but you're seething.
But like, two of them, I just had to tell, like, have you forgot everything? Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, have you forgot everything? And it's just like, it's hard. That's what people don't see, because people at the running club or what they see online and social media, all they see is numbers or whatever. We have like, it's like some of them are like therapists too.
Absolutely.
Like, we've sat there, we've gone through so much together.
You go
How can we
beyond.
fix it? Like, we've got you running, like, we've got you doing your first half marathon, your first marathon, you push yourself to your limits. Yeah. You're in the best place you've mentally ever been. And then it's just like, right, then I'm off now. And you're just like, to me, I don't know what it is, because I've always been like that loyal guy. You're just like, I'll never forget what someone's done for me. Yeah. So I'd always try my best, and like, on one of them there, let's just say I'm a Villa fan. I wouldn't go and watch the Blues because I'm a Villa fan. Do you know what I mean? Like, little things like that.
Loyalty means a lot.
And to me, when it was happening, I was just like to Tash, I was like, what are we doing wrong? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's loads of little rumours going around about us. Like, SRC's doing this, like, loads of little things. And it's a point where you just want to ring people, go see people, and just be like, why are you chatting?
Just have it out.
Yeah. Like, and then you have to get to a point where sometimes it's like people want a reaction.
For sure.
So then it was just like, I was getting to a point where, like, we didn't lose loads. We probably lost about 10 to 15 people. Yeah. But then, as mad as it is, because I weren't asking for help then. So then, like, I was like opened up to one of the ladies in the running club. Yeah. I like spoke to her, like an older lady. And I spoke to her. She just knew. She's like, what's up? And I was just like, nah, nothing. And then she just basically got into me. And it was just little things like, she's like, you're focusing on like the 1%. Right. She said, like, so like, obviously have your moment, say what you got to say. And then when she's like spurring out about, yeah, but you got this person who do this for you, you got this person who do this for you, you still got these 150 members who are coming here for you, you got this, you got that, you got this. And when I had that chat with her, I was just like, do you know what, you're right. She's like, people leave. She's like, it's just normal. She said, not everyone's like you, Grant. And I'm just like, she just started speaking like real facts and stuff like that. And it got to a point where I was just like, do you know what, you're right. And she just changed my whole mindset. So I went from like being down and out, like, I can't bother to run. I'm like, arse about the club at the minute, like, I don't care. I was saying to Tash, I was like, do we just finish it all? I was like, do we just leave it all now? And she was just like, nah, we've come too far to do that. Like, Tash was just like, if she said, yeah, I would have just ended it all. Yeah. And she was just like, nah, like, we've come too far. We've got too many people counting on us. We've got like all the members in the club who still want to be here. It's just like, numbers and nothing. Yeah. And she started speaking like quantity over quality, this kind of stuff, and it all started to make sense. And I got to a point where I was just like, just sparked a new fire in me, where I was just like, right. And then, like, as mad as it is, within a month, we've teamed up with Run Through, which is one of the biggest running events in England, in the UK. And as soon as I've got my head straight back together, we teamed up with Run Through, who like sponsor us now. Signing a new deal with Brooks, signing a new deal with USA, and it's just like, for me, stop feeling sorry for myself, but me realising what we're doing is purposeful and meaningful. It don't matter if we lose 10, 15 people, because the good thing is we gain 10, 15 people.
Better people as well.
Yeah,
right?
Better people, like people who want to be there. Like, sometimes people just do outgrow it and just want to like move on and do whatever, which is fair enough. But it's just when people who you've done everything for, like,
do that.
You've been on a phone call for an hour, 2 hours, letting them pour the heart out to you.
It hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just one that, do you know someone left who was just like loads of people have left, but it's the ones who you've done a lot for. Yeah. Who's like, had this other person, I give her son all the SRC merch, trainers, gone.
Not even you know what really. So you speaking and it's resonated with me, because obviously, you know, I've been building Eloquent for the last 10 years. Yeah. And there's some young people that come through whose parents aren't massively supportive of what they do. So I remember having situations where I've had to like pick people up from their house, drive them to competitions. Yeah. Certain people I've taken across the world to Spain because their parents just couldn't support, giving up my own money. And these are the very people that want to leave and go to other ventures and not even a thank you.
It's horrible.
And you know what, Grant? It probably used to mash me up, you know.
It's horrible, man. Like, I can't explain. It's just,
And it gets you angry, almost like, you know what am I doing this for then?
Literally, that's what it was. So I got to that point where I was literally exactly the same. I was just like, what are we doing this for?
Yeah.
Like, you'd have people who'd be like, oh, it's just like, to say stuff. And you just like, and then you look at them like, running with other people don't bother me.
Yeah.
It don't bother me one bit. If people are running with, but it's the people who you've pulled your heart out to, you've looked after, and they've told you, I've got your back regardless. Like, don't tell me that, do you know what I mean? Because to me, I believe you.
Yeah, and I'm expecting you to show up back. Yeah.
Show it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then when I deep it and I sit back again, like I said, when I sit back, the team I've got around me now, like, I couldn't ask for a better team. I feel like we're growing now as a community, more like a tight-knit family. The goals that we've set is like they're getting nearer.
Good.
We've got like a team who just genuinely want to help you. Like, they're not in it. They're just honest, careful people who just like, they see me and Tash like, not struggling, but it's hard to do a lot on your own because we're both obviously got our own jobs as well.
Yeah.
Then we've got the running club. They've like stepped in, and now it's just like, it's just this new belief again where I'm just like, this is why we started it.
I love that.
Do you know what I mean?
I love that. And do you know what I've learned to shift away from? I just have the expectation that people are fleeting. So people like shiny object syndrome. So whether they've been with us for a long time or they're new to us, something new comes up and they're like, oh, what's that over there?
That's what it is.
That's just my new level of expectation now. So I try not to let it become too personal. What would you say is the vision for SRC?
So I know it's Sunday running club, but the thing is with us, we don't just want to make it a running club. But it's not just a running club at the minute. Like we do hikes, we've got a walking club, we do like fitness sessions together, we do loads. But the vision is, hopefully, within 2025, we get our own like gym, our own space, our own like hub kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then start, because at the minute again, it's just we ain't got enough time on our hands. So hopefully, we can get to a point where we've got like enough staff, enough volunteers, stuff like that, so we can start to help more people, like people with SEM, like troubled at school, like ADHD, in that kind of spectrum, and then you target the older ones.
Okay.
People, I don't know, your elderly who not giving up on life, but kind of like think exercise isn't for me.
Yeah.
So if we can start pushing into like the two different ends of like the young people and the older people, so we want to make it like a community club where it's inclusive for everyone. It just doesn't have to be like running. So we've got lots of events coming up next year where it's just like walking. Like we're literally going to Clinton Hills. We'll do a walk, we'll sit down and have a picnic, little things like that. Hopefully we can just get to the point where we do have our own gym, we do have our own hub, and it's just like, it's a starting place where we obviously start the runs, finish the runs, and we can do like breakfast clubs, and stuff like that. But the vision is just like, there's loads to it. It's just not one thing, like, because on one of them, if I hit that target, there'll be another thing. So so the plan to probably just be like our own gym and our own hub where it's just fully inclusive for everyone. So if we have our own hub, it could be like little things like a bingo night for elderly, or in the gym we could put on like a fitness session for, let's just say, kids who go to school, but do you know, the ones who basically get isolated, or used to get isolated, just put in the room on their own. So it's one of them where if you can get them out for 2 hours doing a fitness session, maybe like, because obviously the best form of mental health is fitness. So if we can get them out doing that, it might just release them endorphins that be like, maybe like calm them down for a bit, do you know what I mean? Like just they enjoy it, something for them to look forward to. So I'd like to work with kids who, like, I know what you're going through, like I know what you've been through. So that's the vision. You
said earlier that running saved your life.
Yeah.
Dig into that for me. How?
Again, if it weren't for running, it'd just be like, I wouldn't have met the people I've met. I wouldn't be where I am today. It gave me a purpose because I had the running club. It's just like, at the start, I was there every single day.
Yeah.
And I feel like people are counting on me. Like, the main reason why I started was like, probably like yourself, how can you like start a dancing club or whatever if you can't dance? Like, how can I start a running club if I can't be committed, if I can't run? So I was getting to a point where like I've got to be like a leader.
Yeah.
So it got to a point where I was waking up every morning, say like 4:30, I'd run, I'd feel absolutely unbelievable. I'd go home, I'd do my admin work, and I'd do this. And it's just like, I got to a point where it weren't just for me then. Because so many people, like if I didn't turn up, no one would go.
Okay.
So I had to turn up to get everyone there. And then we got there, and it's just like, everyone's buzzing, everyone's happy. I'm getting messages left, right and centre, just like nice messages saying like, it's insane what you're doing, it's crazy what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then it just gave me a purpose, like, just the mental battles daily to get up, to go and run. Like, people see 5K and think it's easy.
Yeah.
Like, doing it every day and getting people involved and getting all, like, different religions, races, sizes, ages, everything involved. It was just insane. Like, we got to a point where it was just all different backgrounds. And I feel like I met the people, like some of the people I've met through running have pointed me in the right directions for certain things.
For other things,
like my other business ventures and stuff like that. Like, it's just give me this platform to speak and to let people know, like, you might not know where you're going, but if you try something new, like running, I hated running. Like, I hated it. The only reason why we started, like, again, going back to Russell, is because how can I be telling him off to run if I'm next to him breathing heavy as well? So we got there and we just like, you know what? From this day, I remember at the start it was like Sunday Running Club. Obviously, when it called Sunday Running Club, you just run on Sundays. Then when the 5am started, it was just like, it was getting serious now. Yeah. Like at the start, it was just like, yeah, Sunday, but then it like slowly turned into this big thing.
At what point would you say it became a business instead of like a venture?
See, for the first 2 years, it was free. So,
okay.
But again, it was free, but it was time consuming.
Yeah.
It was massive. Like, we was getting aggro for things. And we were like, I don't get paid for this. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're getting aggro, like, little things. And then I remember, like, I think for this to grow, we need funds.
Okay.
So, like, if you notice, like, a lot of our videos are, like, we pay a lad called Seb who does all the content. We've got a guy called Darrell who does all our emails, our website.
Yeah.
Even little things like, when we've done events, it come out of mine and Tash's pockets, which people obviously don't see. So like we've done like an Easter egg hunt. We paid like, obviously bought like an Easter outfit. One of our guys dressed up in it. Yeah. Bought every kid an Easter egg. I think there's like 202 kids or something.
Wow.
And then people weren't seeing like where the funds were coming from. It's coming out of mine and Tash's pockets. So then it's just like, for us to grow and for us to elevate it, and even more so to hold yourselves accountable, we just had to put a small price of $9.99 on it a month, which is obviously the smallest one. And I think from there, it's just like, right. And then it gives me a bit more of a rocket to like do more now because
there's earning potential.
Yeah. And it was just like, these are paying, I need a paying service. So like, we just have to level up now. Like, I'm not saying like get loads of new members, but this club has to go like, be established.
What does that $9.99 get you access to?
So with the $9.99, we try to like, venture people into like the HIIT classes as well. Okay. So you get like a free HIIT class, a free track session. To be fair, what we just started now with my friend George, we started building out like 5K, 10K, 21K plans. So people are getting that on a PDF now as well.
Nice.
Then obviously just access to the WhatsApp group chat, all your runs, like hill reps, and then just like little things for events. Like when we do events, little things like waters, bananas, all that kind of stuff. And then just to help the club out as well.
For sure.
Yeah, just to help the club out, like. But there is a lot more we're going to be giving out. And then obviously when we do things like shakers and T-shirts, and like we always try to give out as much as possible, like events with Sports Direct and Brooks, like there is loads. And it's just like, with that, you will always have people who be like, I don't want to pay it.
Yeah.
And then you'll always have people who won't bat an eyelid at it. So it's just one then, like, again, like quantity over quality, physically the ones who want to be there, because people forget, like, we have to pay for the gym rent, we have to pay for the websites, we have to pay for the videographers, we have to pay for like the food, the refreshments. It's like
nothing's free.
Nothing's free. Yeah, literally.
What would you say has been your biggest challenge in business today?
I think it's just like with me, I wouldn't say it was a challenge, but I think if he's talking about the running club again, I think the only thing what I wish I did, what we never did, was market it right when we first started. But again, no, it was more like when we started, it was more from the heart. It weren't like for the views and the likes and the follows and the shares. It was also like real stuff. So like the marketing, but
what would you do differently? How would you go back and remarket it?
Get cameras everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, just like from like when we done that big one, the 400-500 AM. I mean 400-500 people at 5 AM. Like I've done a video on my phone. Well, there's no videographers, no drones, nothing. Do you know what I mean? Where like that little thing there could have like, when I look back, could have opened up so many more doors.
Yeah.
But business, I reckon it's just like it can get lonely. Like when you're doing it all on your own, you're doing a lot on your own. People don't see what you're going through. Like people will be like, "Why don't you just do this? Why don't you just do that?" Like thinking like we can be like, "Oh, why don't you just?" I don't know, little things like people could be like, "Why don't you just go buy some new hoodies?" People like, do you know what I mean? Like small things. You just like, it's lonely, and it's hard because, again, I think it's just small things. I can't really put my finger on it, but it's just small things. There's nothing that really affects me like doing the business, because I actually enjoy like doing it. Like this is what I signed up for. This is what I wanted to be. If I didn't want to work for anyone, I can't sit here and feel sorry for myself when my plate's full.
Yeah.
Like nothing really challenged me, not too much anyway.
You mentioned, obviously, you spoke a lot about Tash. Tash is your missus, just for our listeners that are like, who's Tash? How do you find the dynamic working with your partner?
I think we work really well. Yeah, we work really well. Obviously, some decisions we don't agree on, some we do, but she does everything behind the scenes.
Okay.
Like all the organising, like when we have events, she makes sure everything's prepped for the events. When we have like new members, when we have to do all the emails, all the writing, all that kind of stuff. She does all that kind of stuff where I'm just like in person, like the motivator. Okay. The one who's gonna like turn up. We get on really well. I feel like everyone would say the same thing as well. Like I think because it's running, it's more like just turn up, but behind the scenes, I just leave her to it.
Operations.
Yeah, I just leave her to like all the admin stuff. Like I'll do a little bit myself, but again with me, it's just like writing. Like if I've got to reply to loads of emails, I'm bored after one. So I'm just like, you can practical. Do this. Yeah, I'm more like practical, and I always have been. I think that's where like, again, going back to college with Lisa and Tracy, I think when I first got kicked out, they noticed I weren't a pen and paper guy. When I went back, I talked to them and they just write it down for me, kind of thing, to like help me. So just like in that kind of sense.
Ventures outside of the running club then, where did that, obviously you've got other business ventures that I want you to talk a little bit about. Where did that entrepreneurial instinct come from to start other ventures?
So we've got a party hire business, which is called G&T, which is obviously Grant and Tash Party Hire. And that come from when we've done our events. We'd do events and we'd hire like castles, popcorn, candy floss. Yeah. And it was just like, why are we paying all this much money? Because like some people, when they hear an event, they just throw a lot of stupid money on it. Yeah. And then me and Tash, when we started our business, we brought it off one of our friends. We only brought like 3-4 castles. We've got like 12 now and like loads of other stuff. And that come from like being like reasonable prices. So we've all thought, I've never been greedy. So we're probably one of the cheapest out there, but to an extent, do you know what I mean? We won't undercut ourselves or like undercut someone by a $5 or whatever. Okay, our price is our price, but it come from us like just doing more and being more. Like if I've got free time, I feel like I'm doing nothing with myself. Yeah. So like if I'm free on a whole Sunday, if I'm, say I wake up at 8, go to bed at 10, and I've done nothing, I don't know, like guilt really eats me up.
Do you not like to rest, Grant?
Nah, I hate resting. I don't like resting. So like I feel like when we had the party hire business, like it'd be like a Saturday and a Sunday. Yeah. But then it's like an extra income and it keeps us busy. And again, as mad as it is, it's just like you meet new people. Yeah. It spreads the word. So like we might have someone who we hire a castle to, but then they might sign to the running club. Yeah, it all like interlinks kind of thing. So like then obviously with my GD I'm kind of like coming away from one-to-one personal training now and just do the classes. Okay. But like the majority of my clients now started with the running. Right. So then just interlinked, And obviously I have like other members who like I work with like pre-season, like the footballers and stuff like that. And again, it's just like it all come from like the running club. So that running, they might know about that person, they speak to me, then just interlinked there to there to there. And then...
Where do you feel most in flow? So out of all the things that you do, where do you feel most fueled?
When I'm running.
Okay.
Yeah, when I'm with the running club. When I'm with the... I don't know, when I'm with the running club or when I'm in the classes, because when I see people grafting next to me,
yeah,
I just love it. Or when people pushing themselves or like doing more, being more, because people don't realise the power of fitness. Like, I see it with some self-respect I do when I'm working out and it's tough and I finish it. For example, like I've done like a 50-mile run, I've done like 5 marathons, and when I'm doing it, as mad as it sounds, I just love the pain.
Okay.
So like when I see people going through pain, they just get my respect straight away. Yeah. If I see someone give up, it's just like, I can't keep pushing you when you're giving up. Like if you can't tell yourself you can do it, like who can? And I feel like when I'm most in flow, it's just like you're there with your team, everyone's just running, grafting, like sweating at the end, like everyone's buzzing, the endorphins is a release, like there's just no better feeling being around, and it's just like a team as well, like going back to the team thing. You've done it as a team, so like the last person who finishes, there's no judgment at all. They get the biggest cheer because like some people, obviously everyone's different. So when you're seeing someone, like we've got a lady who's like 60 plus, does 5k, it's unbelievable. We've got people who've lost, like a lad called Ben, he's lost like 5.5 stone like in a year. You just, you look at them and you're just like, this is why we do what we do. Like when you see them and just all you guys are just running, grafting, like come on, keep going. It's just, that's when I'm most in flow.
So the same energy that you have towards the graft, do you not have that towards rest and recovery?
I do, like in times like if it's fitness, I can't train today, I want to train. But if it's like comes, as mad as it sounds, like coming to make money, I'm just, anything makes a pound to me, I'm there, man. I think because obviously growing up and not having like this lovely house and like all this like big stuff, I feel like this is what I've got to do. So then when we have a little one, they can have all of that.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like you just have to grind now, like as hard as you can, and like in a few years, I don't know, something might hit and you can afford to retire when you're a bit younger. I just want to get to a certain point of my life where I'm just not comfortable, because I think I'll never be comfortable. Just like I can look back and be like, this is why I used to work 7 days a week. So then like maybe I can have a day off then, but it's just addictive as mad as it is. Like I just love doing more. I love being more. Obviously making the money is a bonus, but it's just like, I don't know, I just love it. Like just I like thinking outside the box, doing more, like coming across situations what you have to like, it gets you thinking.
What would you say is next for Grant? You personally, aside from you and everything that you do.
As in like a business move or just
No, just Grant.
Hopefully have a little one soon with Tash. Move on with my life as in like a family and stuff like that. I want to become the best version of me, like mentally and physically again. I've got a lot of challenges next year, like marathons, ultra marathons. I just want to become like, just because like I said, since it turned from free community running club to the paid running club, it took a lot out of me, like I said, losing people. So I just want to become like happy within the club again and give SRC my all. Me and Tash, obviously we don't really, as I said, because we work a lot, we kind of like put our relationship on the back burner, and where as in now we've realised it again, so like doing date nights and stuff like that again. So for me, it's just more like get mentally and physically to the best version I've ever been. So I can just like, because back in 2022 when we started it, I used to talk the talk and walk the walk, where like kind of like now I've put on like a little bit of weight, not like unhealthily, but like when I look back at pictures, I'm like, oh, it's a machine then. So like now, again, it's just, I just can't wait to get back on that healthy fitness journey again, where that's where I noticed I'm just the happiest. When I'm looking, not even looking, when I'm feeling good. Like mentally and feeling good as well. So it's just get back to like fitness, become just happy with me again.
You spoke about, obviously, hopefully, God willing, having a family. What legacy would you like to leave?
This is a thing I've thought about not long ago, actually. I've always said, like, I hope SRC never dies.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's changed thousands of lives. So I always say, like, especially with the team, if I'm not there, you lot still have to be there, kind of thing. I think the running clubs are one of the most important, but then the legacy I'd like to leave is just like, hopefully people always see me as like the guy who would always pick others up, always be there for someone. I'm a community person. I would do anything for anyone, as long as obviously we respect one another. It just has to be like literally just SRC never dies. Like that legacy has to live forever. So like when we have kids, I'm going to make sure he's heavily involved in it.
Nice.
Little things as well. Like we even spoke about small things, like when we do have kids, Tash having like buggy runs.
Sick.
So like get like the families involved in that sense. But it has to be the legacy that SRC never dies.
For any of our listeners watching this that are thinking about starting a community or a business or a running club, what advice would you give to them?
It's not easy. People think it's easy, and it's just one of them where it can just, I've seen loads fail. Like just saying like we're doing this, isn't it? I feel like it has to be from the heart. It can't just be like we're doing it. Like, see with me, when I first started it, January, I did not ever think about putting a price on this club until I realised how big it got and how hard it was and how much money it costs you as a person. I feel like you have to give it your all. You're not just a community leader, you are absolutely everything. You have to walk the walk, you have to talk the talk, you have to lead, you have to inspire, you have to be like just that person. See with me, like a lot of people, you say to me, like people come to this club for you, not for the club. And I think that's massive. Where, don't get me wrong, I've fell out with a few people, and you just have disagreements with people. Like at the start, when I first started it, I remember like people, you used to let them get away with anything because you just wanted numbers to be big. And in the end, it's just like, you just can't let people speak to you because like to take your kindness for a weakness. And I noticed that a lot. I feel like it's a lot of time consuming. But then on the flip side, it's the best thing ever. Because when you have that one phone call or that one message, little things like thank you for today, like I've got some messages where I don't even share half of them. Like I just love to share people's stories and just be like, they could sit here and I could just ask them a question like, where would you be without SRC today? And it could, some of the things I say is just insane. Like it's just, you sit there and like you're close to tears listening to it, and you're just like, I really did that just from starting a running club in a park. Like it's like, I can't explain, it's the best thing ever. Like the club, I love it to bits, and I've got people who tell me they love the club. Like I've got his name's Billy, the skipper. He's one of them, we call him skipper, he's just like the captain of the club. But he's one of them, like, he just bleeds SRC. Like we've got another lad, like, another males and females who just like, because they're so heavily invested in it, again, it's just like, you start this community and it becomes like a family. You meet people who like, let's just say some people I just used to walk past or be like, you're right. And now we're going out for food together, we're going out for drinks together, we're going on hikes together, we're going whatever together. And it all starts from that. Do you know what, I'm doing this? And once it gets going and once it gets flowing, it's just insane. Like, it don't happen overnight. Like, it took us 2 years, I reckon, to really get to a point where I started to believe in it more than anything. Like, at the start, I'm just like, yeah, it's all right. And then after so long, I got to a point where I'm just like, this is actually, like, good. So my main tip would be, if you're starting your own, community, I'll say community, not business, your own community is, you have to believe, and business actually, you have to believe in it. Like, no matter what anyone tells you, oh, it's not going to work, no one will support it, I swear. Like, I was blessed though, because I had a lot of friends who supported it, where you always have, it's amazing, sometimes you'll have friends who see it and don't really support it, where my friends
see and say nothing
are still to this day, they're still with me, they're still supporting me, they're still sharing everything, they're still, even little things like buying a new t-shirt, coming to the events, like, so you just have to believe in it from the start.
As you talk about it, I can feel your passion oozing out, which is really nice to see. Get to speak to lots of different business owners and community leaders on this podcast, but there's not many that I feel that
Yeah.
real raw passion from. So it's really nice to speak to you about that journey. I always ask my guests to follow this tradition of leaving our listeners with one nugget of wisdom. It could be about absolutely anything we've spoken about today.
You know what, mate, it stuck with me from like, wow, it's just a little quote that it stuck with me forever. It was, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. If you teach him how to fish, he'll eat forever. And it's one of them where, with me, it's just like, I weren't given like just food to eat. I was taught like gems. So I was around people who like, they wouldn't just give it to me. They'd like leave like a hint or a tip how to do it. For example, like with Mitchell, it'd be like, this is what I'd advise doing. Go and give it a go. It won't be like, oh, here you go.
Okay.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like little things like, if I wanted to earn, I don't know, let's just say new football boots, I'd have to go out and do something I wasn't ever given to me.
Yeah.
So like people was teaching me how to do little things to go out and get after it. So you just, in life, in this world, in anything now, like I always say, man is a man on David Goggins as well. And he's just one day, like no one's coming to save you. Like you can't just sit here and expect something to fall on your lap. It's never going to happen. Don't get it wrong, you have people who've been silver spoon, but they only get them so far.
Yeah.
Like mental resilience is everything for me. Like I'll do something uncomfortable every single day, whether that's getting up at R4, whether that's having a cold shower, whether that's having like, I don't know if you see my Instagram, like having ginger shots, I hate them, but like going on a long run, doing a horrible session, it's just, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Grant, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.